Is there any statements you would like to say, like right off the bat?
Well, I can. I'll start with, I'm Reverend David W. Green Sr., Senior Pastor, Purpose of Life Ministries, President of the Concerned Clergy of Indianapolis. I want to first begin by, we're appalled by the comments by the Lieutenant Governor Michael Beckwith that were historically incorrect and also morally bankrupt. To say that black people, that was a good move to be classified as 3/5 of a person is egregious. We all know factually that that was a move by the South to get more representation in the House of Representatives, to take their slaves and say that's not a whole person, but that's 3/5 of a person. And to be in 2025, to be making such statements from the Capitol is egregious, and the governor needs to address the lieutenant governor and come out in public and denounce that those comments were inaccurate.
I have a few more questions. And so, why are you calling for the governor to denounce these comments?
Because they are factually inaccurate, that history proves and shows that this is not true, and that we are all wonderfully made. It's appalling that someone who calls himself a youth pastor would be saying to anybody that's 3/5 of a person is appropriate. He should be seeing everyone as equal, and we would hope the governor, who professes to be a Christian as well, would acknowledge that, hey, there's no way I can support that as a part of his cabinet, as a part of his leadership, and that he's going to stand up and be a man and say, wait a minute, this is wrong. It's not something that he endorses and or supports. We would expect that from the leader of our state, and I think it's something that he should do swiftly, shouldn't take long, but we're certainly committed to seeing and saying that, hey, we will not stand up and sit on the sideline while the lieutenant governor can make unfactual statements about black people.
And what do you think is the reason behind him posting these videos, these kinds of videos?
Well, it's clear that this is racism, that he was trying to support his base, demonstrating that he is a racist to them, and we receive it that way, and we're here to push back and say we're not going to tolerate such racism in 2025. We have children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren we've got to stand up for. We've had people that literally walk the streets for our rights, to be able to vote, etc. So we're not going to go silently away. We're being referred to as 3/5 of a person trying to be slick. That is not right. We don't approve of it, and we expect a governor who leads the state to stand up and say, yeah, I'm not with that either. Yeah. He needs to come out and denounce it and speak against it. Yeah. And he can do so. His silence will say, I'm in support of what the lieutenant governor has said, and we want not only this state but this country to know we do not approve of that here in the state of Indiana.
Okay. So speaking a little further on that, what kind of message would you like to send, almost like as an example, for any further instances like this?
The reason the governor needs to respond is it needs to take swift action. That's one of the first things you demonstrate. If somebody in your cabinet is going to make a racist comment, that he's going to respond swiftly and severely to communicate that will not be tolerated. So he needs to do it publicly. We need a public apology from the lieutenant governor. We need statements from our governor saying, yeah, I do support diversity. I'm not a racist, but I'm a person who believes and understands that all people are created equal, which is what's in our Constitution.
Yeah.
True.
Is there any other comments or anything you would like people to know?
We will continue to push until there's action by the governor. All things are on the table. We mean business. We're serious about this because it was quite offensive to be referred to as 3/5 of a person, and we will not allow our young people to grow up thinking that they're 3/5
Right.
of a person.
Right.
That is unacceptable.